Hello everyone, Time to Grind here, and today I wanted to artifact, and in particular, a lot of the news that Valve just put out about the payment model. And I know I normally try to make any excuse I can to talk about artifacts because I am indeed super hyped for it, but a lot of people I feel, are very misinformed when it comes to payment models and stuff like that, especially in card games. And so because of the fact that Valve put out a lot of, information and confirmed a lot of these details about payment models and stuff like that, I really wanted to go in depth and explain a lot of them. So before we even get into that, they also, like I said, explained when it was coming out, and it's releasing PC, Mac, and Linux on November 28, 2018, so this year, and then, sometime in 2019 it'll come out to iOS and Android, and they haven't stated whether that's only for, iPads and tablets, or if eventually it'll come to like mobile phones as well. Personally, I really hope so. I can imagine it might be a little hard considering it has the 3 lanes going on. But on top of that, they, announced all of the stuff about the payment model, and that's what I really want to talk about. So before I kind of even give my opinion on it or, start analyzing anything, I'm going to just straight up give you guys the information that Valve confirmed and, put forward, just in case you guys don't know it. So Artifact, we knew it was going to be paid, we just didn't know how much the game was going to cost up front, and it's going to cost $20. And what you get with that is you get 2 pre-made base decks of 54 cards each. They contain like the 5 heroes, 9 items, and 40 other cards, and then you get 10 sealed packs of cards, and they all have 12 cards in them, and one of them is guaranteed to be rare. And the way you can earn cards past just buying the game is they're going to be sold for $2 a pack. There's no way to earn them in game. There's no like gold. There's no daily. There might be daily quests, but they might be for cosmetic or something. But for the cards themselves, you're gonna have to pay $2 a pop. There's no way to get them for free. And that sounds very bad, and I'll talk about it in a little bit about how it's actually not. It's the opposite. But one of the first, big things that I just saw a lot of people talking about, not necessarily on the Artifact subreddit, but on the Dota subreddit, so many people were just saying this game was going to be dead on arrival because it wasn't free to play, and, the fact that you can't earn cards for free and stuff like that, and how this is going to be the most pay-to-win game possible. But the thing is in my opinion, this game is most likely going to end up being cheaper than Hearthstone. Now, obviously, I'm not including, say, there are some free-to-play people, even some free-to-play people in Hearthstone that, can get to Legend every month somehow, and it requires a ton of grinding. I mean, an unfun amount of grinding. I've tried a couple expansions to go play Hearthstone free-to-play, and just how limited you are because of how stingy they are with packs and stuff like that is really terrible. I mean, it's to the point where you can spend $50 to $100 per expansion and still feel like you're not getting, all the cards you can to stay competitive. Maybe if you grind free to play and you literally pay no money, you might be able to get Legend, but you're definitely going to be limited in what decks you can play. You might have to play, maybe the top tier aggro deck because they don't require as many legendaries, or, even if you play control deck, you're not going to be able to make as many decks as you can and be really versatile. You're going to be forced into one thing. And overall, I personally, although Hearthstone can be fun to me sometimes, I really don't enjoy the grindy feel to it. It really feels like, they're limiting you as hard as they can, to try to stay addicted to this, crack and stuff like that. So in terms of people, saying, well, Hearthstone's free and you can earn everything for free, my counter to that would be, is it really fun to do that, though? Obviously there are some people that, are going to enjoy being free to play, but in order to stay competitive and everything like that, it is such a grind. It's honestly like a second job that you have to, do. And so in Artifact's case, you just pay $20 and you're going to have to, there's no grind. There's no, kind of... They're not dangling any sticks in front of you. If you want to play this game, you'll play the game. And, one thing they're saying, oh, well, this is going to be like a Magic the Gathering where decks are like $500, $600 and stuff like that. One thing I want to mention is when people bring up Magic the Gathering and stuff like that, they tend to, talk about paper Magic. And the thing is in paper Magic, there are limited supplies of those cards. They don't constantly just keep printing them. So, when cards come out, when they first come out, like normal, they're going to be really expensive. And then if they're considered very good, they're going to, maybe get a little bit more expensive. But at a certain point, they kind of, you know, they'll go down a little bit, but eventually, you know, when a couple sets come and go, and if the card's still, you know, really popular and it's still being ran in a lot of decks, it's just going to get more and more expensive because of the fact that they're not really being printed anymore, especially for older sets. So the cards are obviously going to get, you know, more and more expensive. The thing with Artifact is it's a digital card game, so the cards, they don't have a limit to how many can be made. So just as an example, with the base set, you know, in the first couple days, some of the cards might be very expensive because, you know, not many have been sold and stuff like that. Not many people have opened them, and a lot of people are going to just want to buy as many cards as they can on the first day. So they might be expensive, but very quickly, my prediction is after that, you know, first, you know, maybe launch week, the price of the cards are going to drop down because you know how the Steam market works, you know, if you know, okay, well, you know, there's 50,000 people selling this card for $2, but I can sell my card instantly if I sell it for $1.61, or, you know, there's constantly like a bidding war, and that makes things cheaper and cheaper. But also, the longer this game goes, the cheaper cards are going to be because there is no limited supply. The cards are just going to keep being produced and kept getting put into the ecosystem, and, you know, they're going to keep getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And also, one thing I want to point out is a lot of people comparing how expensive this is going to be to Hearthstone. Another thing I want to point out is you can just buy singles in in Artifact. So you want to buy a deck, you can just straight up look, okay, I need these cards, I can buy these cards on the market, this would be, you know, the cost of this. Versus in Hearthstone, you have to buy packs, and then there's the whole disenchanting stuff, but that like takes 1/4 of your entire value and everything. Versus, say you have some cards in your Artifact deck, you can, you know, that you're not using, you could sell it on the market, and they, you know, the cut that, you know, Valve takes is way, way less than just dust value being 1/4. You know, you disenchant a legendary that costs 1,600 dust to make, you only get 400 dust. You disenchant an epic that costs 400 dust, you only get 100 dust. So you're straight up only getting 1/4 of the value. If I sell a $5 card on the, you know, market, I'll get around, you know, I don't know the math, but I'll get around $4 and, you know, 20-30 cents or something like that. So you know, they're taking a lot less of a cut. And so, you know, that all in all, but then they released even more information after the fact, and this is what just really is the best evidence I have that, you know, Artifact is going to be so much cheaper than other games to stay competitive or to even just play. They announced that there are only 3 rarity levels in the game: common, uncommon, and rare. So when you think of Hearthstone, you have, you know, the, you know, uncommons, you have rare, you have epic, and legendary. So there's 4, you know, not including the basic ones that, you know, everyone gets, you know, from the start of the game or whatever, or just by playing for a little bit. So their main ones in packs are, you got your common, uncommon, you know, the white gem, then you have rare, the blue gem, epic, the purple, and then legendary, the orange one. So there's 4 rarities, and when you open up a pack in Hearthstone, you only get 5 cards, and one of them is guaranteed to be a rare or higher. So there's still, keep that in mind, you're getting a rare or higher. That means you're not guaranteed to get epics per pack, and you're not guaranteed to get legendaries per pack. Now in Artifact, you get 12 cards a pack, and you're guaranteed 1 to be rare. But the thing is in this game, rare is the equivalent of a legendary. So that's like in Hearthstone, if every pack you opened, you were guaranteed to get a legendary. I mean, the game would be just so much cheaper if that was actually the case. You know, because, I mean, that's insane. Just think about that. If in Hearthstone, if you've played Hearthstone, or, you know, any other of these collectible card games, Eternal, Gwent, anything like that, if you opened up a card pack, and every one you got the highest tier of rarity. So Hearthstone, every pack I open, you get a legendary. That would be ridiculous, but that's what it is in Artifact. Because of the fact that there's only 3 rarities, common, uncommon, and rare, and every single pack you open is guaranteed to have a rare, I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, you know, there is no, there's not a 0 dupe guarantee, because of the fact that, you know, there's going to be drafting and stuff important like that. But that doesn't matter. I mean, that's irrelevant. If you're getting the equivalent of a legendary in every single pack, that's going to make the game so cheap. You know, honestly, it's kind of hard to expect the exact values, but I mean, I would expect maybe top tier decks at most to cost like $10 or something like that, you know, late in the lifespan of this game. You know, there are going to be basic cards that everybody gets just by buying the game, so they don't really count because they're not going to be in packs. But I truly, truly believe that with the information that Valve has confirmed about the payment model, Artifact Artifact is easily going to be one of the cheapest games on the market to play, you know, competitive or even at a casual level. I'm expecting casual decks to be definitely like $3-4, if not cheaper than that, because I guarantee you a lot of these cards are going to sell for pennies on the market, especially as, you know, the longer they go. But you know, I really wanted to make this video because I just saw so much misinformation and you know, crazy stuff, especially on subreddits. You know, the Artifact subreddit, people tend to get it. We've been, you know, obsessing over the game for a while, but some other subreddits like the Dota subreddits really are twisting this game and are just being very, very, you know, just, I don't know, they're not very thinking about it. They're just, oh wow, there's a price tag on the game, wow, that's absurd. It's not going to do good because it's not free to play like Hearthstone. And just one thing I want to point out as well is with that $20, you not only get, you know, the base decks that have those cards, you get 10 packs, which is worth $20. So, you know, you can immediately sell those on the market if you wanted to or whatnot. But, you know, either way, I'm more and more excited about Artifact the more I learn. I'm so ready for it to come out in, you know, 4 months that I think it is as of recording this video, end of November. But, you know, that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear your guys's. I'm sure, you know, you all have, especially if you're coming from the Artifact subreddit, you all have your own opinions and stuff like that, because I have seen a lot of discussion lately. It's nice to have actual content and, you know, news on the Artifact subreddit. But, you know, either way, if you enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content and news. New videos come out every Wednesday and Sunday. And like always, guys, hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and see you guys next time.